Hey everybody, welcome to TechBeat. I am your I am your host, Earl Foote, founder, CEO of Nexus IT. Got my words a little crossed there for a second. Nexus IT is an out-glove, white-sourced managed IT and cybersecurity services firm based here in northern Utah and servicing a nationwide footprint. We're doing a special little TechBeat episode today, live from Cryptopia with the Parker brothers from Giddy. I'm going to come back around to these guys in just a second. Before I do that, really a couple of quick housekeeping items. TechBeat is now on all major podcast platforms, so go subscribe wherever you consume your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, Pandora, if people still use that, whatever, go subscribe. We would appreciate that. Keep an eye out for upcoming TechBeat episodes on June 8th with Monty Deer, CEO of Kizik. Johnny Hanna's coming up, Derek Miner and Greg Trimble from Lemonade Stand, Paul Shin, Andrea Guthrie, Chief Strategy Officer at Kiln, and Lance Allred, the first legally deaf player to play in the NBA. I don't know if you guys know Lance. He's a cool guy. He's lives here in Salt Lake. Just struck up a partnership with Brandon Fugel. So anyways, Lance is a cool guy. He should be a lot of fun. Yeah. So let me get to my guest of it's not the hour, it's the half hour today. Let's see, leading a new generation of cryptocurrency investors, Eric and Ethan Parker are co-founders of Giddy, the mobile application that makes tapping into centralized finance easy for everyone. With Giddy, people can buy, trade, shop, and earn rewards from their crypto assets so they can outpace inflation and make more money with their money. Under Eric and Ethan's guidance, Giddy is unlocking an entirely new category for passive income earners. Gentlemen, welcome to TechBeat.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. So happy to have you back on.
Yep.
Eric, you're CEO. Ethan is COO.
Yeah.
Brothers, co-founders.
And you're our IT department. Thanks for making our internet work every day.
All right. Well, we appreciate the business. We appreciate the partnership.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Of course, we got a little bit of early insight into what Giddy was before it was called Giddy. With Scott Paul kind of being a common denominator in that whole, process. And we saw what you guys were going to build and all that kind of stuff. And it's been cool to, see that those early ideas and then, inception, MVP, of course, rebrand into Giddy, and of course the traction that you've gained and all the cool stuff you've built that really you're disrupting the category of crypto and DeFi. So let's talk a little bit about that, Eric. Let's talk, CEO. Let's tell a little bit of the backstory of how Giddy came to be, where the idea came from, what it's about, where you're at right now in the journey.
Yeah, sounds good. So the last job I had was Walmart. I was building their mobile app. I wasn't, greeting anyone at the door, but orange vest and everything in my basement. You got to go the whole 9 yards, right? And it was a good job, but you get a little bored sometimes after a while at a company. And this was around late 2019, and I'd always been into crypto, always been into computers. My background is computer science, and I got back into mining Ethereum. So you build a computer, you validate the network, you get a little bit of rewards, right? For the most part, I was having fun just kind of building computers. But I got enough Ethereum that I was like, what do I do with this? I kept hearing about this thing called DeFi, and it had been kind of nagging, in the back of my head. I got to learn about this thing, but it's a really big space. It's kind of difficult to break into. But what I found out is you can, with DeFi, it stands for decentralized finance, right? If you like crypto, you can hold your crypto, you can maintain exposure to those assets, and you can also put it to work on the blockchain. So people had different businesses that they would deploy to the blockchain. You could do crypto trading, you could do lending, you can even do insurance. You can do all these really interesting things. All of those different businesses on the blockchain, they need money to operate. And you, just a regular old person, you don't have to be accredited. You just have to kind of know how to use, a computer and the internet and the blockchain, and you can put this money to work. So I just got absolutely enthralled by this idea that not only is it programmable, like a computer guy, computer science guy, I can write code, put it on the blockchain, but this crypto stuff that I love, I can put it to work in a way that I get to earn additional yield while holding on to this asset. So it was just a complete, mind-blowing experience for me. Obviously it's got intrinsic value because I'm a giant nerd, but yeah, it's this new way to kind of like invest in an up and coming tech sector, kind of an alternative asset. And by the way, if you do it right, it's just constantly churning out rewards 24/7, passive income if you know how to set it up.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So of course you can still ride the waves of the value of your coin.
Yeah.
But you can also invest that coin into other ventures, potential
Totally.
Ways to make money.
Yeah, so I got into that pretty early. Got some friends into it.
Yeah.
We got connected to Scott Paul around the time that he was doing some DeFi stuff as well.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is it's really technically difficult to get right. There's a lot of steps, and there's security, there's cost efficiency, there's speed of execution. There's a lot that goes into it. I mean, just knowing what to put your money into, what's a good opportunity, that's hard by itself, let alone all this other stuff. So where this company came from was knowing that there's this opportunity to put your crypto to work, there's this alternative asset, there's this passive income, and knowing that it's extremely difficult to do every step of the way. It was a perfect chance to solve it with tech, to solve it with a mobile app that helps people kind of solve the problem. You go from A to Z in a safe, fast, cost-efficient way.
Yeah.
At the time, there really wasn't one solution, one-stop, native mobile, really good user experience way to get into it.
Yeah.
So we saw that opportunity. Scott Paul was our very, very first investor. He actually invested in crypto. The first funds we got from him was crypto in Cake token.
Right.
Yeah,
pancake bunnies.
Yeah.
Magic internet money is what he gave us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So we're trying to bridge that gap between something that's valuable, a little bit niche, very difficult to do, and you can absolutely scale it with technology.
Yeah, very cool. So, and I know you guys have actually kind of hacked and shortcut the whole process of, being able to invest funds into DeFi. Ethan, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about that? Because, without Giddy, it's like a 10-step process, to do the whole thing. But you guys have streamlined everything within your platform.
Yeah. We like to joke. So there's in DeFi the hard way, there's gas fees everywhere. So we like to say that going from your, Chase checking account to staked on chain, you can lose anywhere from 1 to 2 to 100% of your money. And just fees or just messing something up. You send Ethereum to the wrong blockchain. You send whatever, a crypto to somewhere it's not supposed to go, and it's just gone.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. And there's rug pulls, and there's actual scams, and there's all kinds of stuff that can happen to you. So, but even if you know what you're doing, even if you're good at crypto, it's still a 10-step process, and you're still not done. That's one way. And arguably, you're not even done yet. It's 14 steps in and 18 steps back out. So yeah, it's gnarly. So if you were just to, especially if it's a multi-asset pool, some of the stuff on Giddy, it's a 5-asset liquidity quintuplet. Normally say liquidity pair, LP pair, which is redundant. But if you have 5 assets into one thing that you're trying to stake, you'd have to buy each one of them and then approve the contract for each one, and then stick them together, stake them, and then you still have this infinite approval bug, which exists in DeFi. So we wrap that all up into one swipe. It's more secure, and it saves even an expert. It'll save you 15 minutes per 5-part LP transaction at least, and that's probably some complicated stuff. But basically, earn money easy, money go burr.
The reason, so this is all built on this idea that you are supposed to own your own money. You're supposed to own your identity in crypto.
Right.
There was a handful of companies that would, 2020, 2021, they would give you access to yield on the blockchain, but it was in a centralized custodial way. So you would hand your money to somebody else. They would run that money for you on the blockchain and then give you a small portion of the yield. So not only did you not own the money, you didn't own all the upside either.
Yeah.
So core, central to this whole thing is this notion that you get to own your money. So in crypto land, it's called self-custody, right? Or not a non-custodial wallet. So the reason that all these steps happen, the reason that we talk about it this way is when you own your own crypto, when you own your own wallet, every single one of these steps has to happen. It's just that with Giddy, it happens automatically.
Yeah.
It happens in code. You still own it. You still have 100% of the upside. You get to decide if you want to spend money, if you want to pull it out. But It's not in a custodial way where we can get in between you and your money and do fishy, funny things.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of those companies, BlockFi, Gemini, a couple of other ones.
Yeah, Celsius, especially FTX.
Yeah, they had enforcement actions taken against them specifically because there was this pool of money that people would put their money into, the company would do stuff with, and then give that yield back. It's a highly regulated activity. They didn't register. So having that self-custody part of it is extremely important. And that's precisely why it's a complicated thing, but we simplify it.
Yeah. Well, it simplifies your regulatory requirements.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You don't have to be fiduciaries necessarily and all that kind of stuff.
Yep, exactly.
So
It's just a software tool.
Does it eliminate some of the gas fees, with the automated process?
So there's always going to be a cost associated with getting a transaction onto the blockchain.
Yeah.
It is less, it's more efficient.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less expensive, but we do have the ability to pay completely for some fees. So for example, in the Giddy app, if I wanted to send a stable coin, right? So it's a token that's always backed 1-to-1 with the US dollar and it's always worth $1.
Yeah. I
could send that to somebody right now in, Argentina or China or wherever instantly for free in the Giddy app. So on that particular transaction, we actually pay the gas for you.
Okay.
And then the other stuff, the staking, whatever, it is a little more cost effective for sure. But one of the big things that we do is we allow our Giddy users to pay for gas using any token. Well, right now it's either Giddy or USDC. Coming up, it's going to be anything. But you will. So our users don't have to kind of like understand how to pay gas the right way. If you have money, you're good.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I had a question here. Now I'm drawing a blank, so I'm going to go to the.
Sure.
No, I had a personal question that was intriguing me, and I don't know.
All good.
Stage fright. Who knows, right? I went blank. Oh no, it is around this idea of self-custody. So for me, like the founding ideals of crypto, of DeFi, is that you can maintain control of your assets, right? Your wallet, your coin, your money. So having a platform like Giddy that enables you to maintain that control, it seems like super important. Obviously FTX was a total cluster, right?
Right.
Embezzlement and all sorts of shady stuff going on, right?
No board of directors. Who needs one?
That wasn't a failure of crypto. That was a failure of fraud. Out and out, just poorly managed.
It was more like an exploitation of people's idea of crypto.
Yeah.
By bad business people.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So this makes total sense, right? And it seems to align with we're at Cryptopia, so with Cryptopians, right? It's part of the ideal. It's part of the culture.
Absolutely.
Robinhood got in a lot of trouble a couple years ago for stopping trading with GameStop and others, and the New York Stock Exchange itself shuts down sometimes to protect
liquidity issues, right?
Like they say, so like custodians can stop transactions and withdrawals and all this stuff. But so, early on, Google liked to say, don't be evil. That was kind of their motto. Our unofficial motto is can't be evil. we can't steal your money. We can't trade on your behalf. We can't dip our fingers where they don't belong. It is truly your keys, your crypto. It's your stuff. If you want to stake into something and stake out the very next minute, it's your crypto. You can do it.
These are core issues in the Bitcoin white paper. Satoshi talked about decentralization, trustlessness, open systems, and we made the decision to stick close to those foundational organizing principles of crypto early on, way before Celsius and FTX and all these things happened. And we didn't see that coming. Of course we didn't. No one really did. But it just kind of it bears out. Those foundational core principles are super important, and we've seen firsthand why.
Yeah, no, totally, absolutely, especially in this you called it earlier, funny internet money, kind of space, right? Where there's, it's the wild, wild west right now, Okay, so what have we not covered? I guess what's interesting for people that want to use the Giddy app, and who identifies with what you're doing, and what's the value they extrapolate from it? Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody, that because everybody's sort of got their personal finance pie chart. Like I've got this much in stocks, this much in bonds, this much in internet savings accounts. Hopefully, no one's using like a 0.15 savings account because there's a lot of really great options out there that are FDIC insured. Even Apple is getting into the game. They got like $1 billion in deposits the first week. They offered 4%. So good. That's all good and great. But people still are looking for alternate classes. People that already have invested in real estate and other things. And so we're not saying like, mortgage your house and throw it all into the Giddy app. Like not at all. It's more like we're an alternative asset class. And this is something for people to experiment with and try out. And so, for example, like you can earn, like there's opportunities on the blockchain to earn 8 or 10% on a stable coin. So, the average internet savings account right now is something like 3 or 4%, which is amazing. But if you can earn 8 or 10 on a stable coin, it's like, well, why wouldn't you try that out a little bit? Put some money in there, get some yield. And what's fun, what we just announced today here at Cryptopia is, let's say you throw some money in there and every week it's earning, I don't know, $50. It's like, well, hey, that's a pizza night, for your family, and you don't even have to touch your principal. And it compounds continuously, like almost every second, every minute, as opposed to something like a Discover Online Savings or an Amex Online Savings where you have to wait a full 30 days for them to actually give you your money that you earned. You're earning it constantly here on the Giddy app. So that's really fun. That's exciting. And now there's finally a very real use case of Netflix, of Taco Bell, of Amazon, whatever you want, gift card wise. It's just right there, and there's no fee. $10 in Giddy coin gets you $10 for the tacos right there.
There you go. And technically, so with Giddy being a wallet, do you have the ability right now, to pay through like an NFC reader at a retail outlet, or is that something on the horizon?
The closest thing we've got right now is our integration with Bid Refill, where you can buy like a MasterCard gift card and then use that in like a retail store. That's like the quickest thing we've got right now because it's instant.
Sure.
But there is also a traditional off ramp through MoonPay where it just like transfers back to your bank account. Yeah. So that's just normal style.
Okay. That kind of thing, crypto payments, like at a cashier at a gas station or something like that. Yeah. There's a huge opportunity for that to catch on because that payment clears instantly. There's no like clawbacks. There's no chargebacks, right?
Yeah.
So you can really reduce fraud quite a bit because of the nature of this. Like you send it, it's sent. That merchant has that money. So you can absolutely build an efficiency where, like the credit card system, there's a huge amount of money that's just sitting there as a float. It's a huge liability. That's why you pay 3.5%.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a really big innovation soon, like a huge increase in efficiency in the payment system. And with the Giddy app, we'll be able to implement that, integrate with that closely, just right away.
Yeah, perfect. That's right. That's Brett. So, gentlemen, I know you've got another exciting announcement, a new enhancement to the Giddy platform that you want to share with the audience today. Eric, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So if you are a Giddy app user, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'll try to make sure I can explain it in a way that everyone will understand. So the Giddy token we developed early on in our journey. It does a couple of really specific technical things. Most of the benefit is kind of invisible. It's in the background. It makes your transactions more secure. That you can actually do them a lot faster. It enables you to pay for gas in the Giddy token as well as other tokens, and then we're adding other stuff to it. So we're basically like developing more use cases, more utility, more value around the Giddy token and the platform. So there's some specifics that we're going to hold off on announcing a little bit, but the big idea is that the Giddy token really is meant to kind of like grease the rails on the whole platform. It should make transactions cheaper, it should make gas cheaper, it should make everything faster. And then the more you use it, the more you should expect to benefit from it. So we're developing a system right now where the more that you use Giddy tokens, you kind of put them into a locker that you own, by the way. You can take them out whenever you want, but you use your Giddy token, you use the platform for trading, you use the platform for staking, and then you'll benefit from that directly in the form of USDC, stablecoin, or maybe even other tokens as well. So the whole idea here is the more that you use the system, especially with the Giddy token, the more you should expect to benefit from it. And we're building out some integrations. Some will be pretty soon, some will be a little bit farther out, but we're putting a lot of work and research A lot of this comes down to legal research because we want to make sure that we're doing this exactly the correct way. And there's laws that are written, there's laws that have yet to be written,
Sure.
but you can expect.
You're trying to anticipate laws too.
Oh yeah, yes.
Out to dinner a couple nights ago with some other friends in, that are in DeFi as well, right? And like their chief legal officer, he's trying to look around blind corners to try to figure out what's coming down the pipeline to make sure they're building stuff where they think regulation and law is going to go.
Totally.
Yeah.
So you can expect more high yield pools. You can expect more Giddy token utility, and I think we have a pretty clear path to really put a lot of effort into developing those two things specifically. So those will be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, cool.
Gift cards is going to be available tomorrow. We gave Cryptopia listeners a sneak peek. In fact, your audience is getting a sneak peek to that right now.
All right.
You can stake into the Giddy app, earn yield, buy. Literally, I just bought last night. I got a chalupa on DoorDash. I bought it with crypto.
Nice.
It was like a 5-minute turnaround from buying the gift card, putting it into DoorDash, ordering a thing. It's so fun. Like,
you've heard of the Bitcoin pizza. This is the Giddy chalupa.
The Giddy chalupa.
$100,000 chalupa that you just bought last
I
night.
put $500.
Looking at Southwest, stuff. I mean, it's spending to do the chalupa, right?
I put $500 into our Amazon account and told my wife, just like whatever we got next, we bought it with crypto. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And this is crypto that's been earning money for a couple months. This is just yield. This is just
You left your principal there, but you're taking some yield, and you're like, okay, well, we can support, the household, the toilet paper and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. All those times that I've swiped our credit card to buy crypto, now it's coming back to benefit the household. Yeah.
There you go. Well, you guys got to do some content around, teaching people how to really leverage, DeFi and get into this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's quite an opportunity, right? And I know, we have a mutual friend, and you may not know about the circumstance. We have a mutual friend that transferred a significant sum to the wrong blockchain, lost it, right? Scott was trying to help him get it back, but that was if you don't know what you're doing, you can totally kind of goof this whole thing up.
Fact.
Yeah.
That's true. Huge opportunity, lots of value, but it doesn't come without risk.
Yeah. So you're a couple years in. How's working with your brother going, and how's the adoption going? What's your community look like at this point?
Yeah.
Well, we got started 2 years ago, and I guess we didn't go over the specific story. I guess Eric mentioned, Scott Paul got some crypto stuck in the blockchain. Eric helped him get it out. He invested in crypto in us, and then we were able to leverage that into a really great seed round, and we just closed another round. So we've raised about $15.5 million from VCs, a lot of local people, and quite a few outside the state as well. And what was the question again?
Just how is it working with your brother? How's adoption?
Eric and I have worked on, we're both mobile apps developers. We worked on some iOS apps early on and stuff, and we worked out all of our drama a really long time ago. So it's been great working together. It's awesome. Wouldn't rather start a company with anybody else. And I mean, we've had this sort of group of people that Eric's worked with and I've become mutual friends with, primarily late at night playing PUBG a couple of years ago. Well, I've always kind of thought, man, these guys are so good at what they do. They're all just hyper experts. We have back end, crypto, mobile, kind of everybody's got their superpower. I'm like, man, we'd make an insane team. And I've thought that for some years now. So it's really fun to see it come together. And then we were able to grab our marketing guy and our finance guy are both they came from managing hundreds of people, coming from unicorn tech companies and then Big Four accounting.
And Dave's a musician too, which
exactly
perfect guy after my own heart. Right?
Yeah, so we were able to just kind of get together the dozen smartest people we've ever met and just start a company. And we're all coming from similar places. We're all working people. None of us have had a unicorn exit in our career yet. And it's really exactly yet. And so we're all just kind of pulling in the same direction. It's been a ton of fun.
Yeah, that's right. That having the right early stage founding team, is
it's everything.
It's so important. Yeah. Adoption. How's the community going? Are you? I know you guys are getting to conferences nationwide and all that.
Yeah,
are you getting?
Well, and we've only been live since January. Believe it or not,
yeah.
The app's only been publicly available since the end of January.
And we've added a lot of stuff to it since then. So every time we add a new feature, there's some new utility. We can talk about that and market it. And so it's similar to building out a whole tech infrastructure. building out your whole marketing engine is you start to build a flywheel. You get more and more adoption, and I think we're starting to see kind of the upturn of that. So yeah, it's been awesome. It's been our community is super supportive. We find people every single day that use the Giddy app for something new, and we want to continue to support that and develop that. So yeah, full steam ahead on user adoption this year. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, that's right. Super cool, guys. Well, congrats on obviously, first of all, just a really great disruptive idea, right? Second of all, being able to execute, because that's, ideas are a dime a dozen. Execution is where most startups, don't really make it through, right?
Yeah.
And getting traction. That's cool, right? And continuing to innovate. You guys seem to be kind of leading the category, leading the space right now, which is cool. I'm glad we know you. I'm glad we're partners. So where can our viewers, get more information about Giddy?
Yeah, Giddy.co. That's our website. You can download the mobile app from there. It's on Android and iOS. It's 151 plus countries. Giddy DeFi is our handle on Twitter. That's our Discord. I think that's our
Instagram
Facebook as well.
too, yeah.
Instagram. We have a YouTube channel where we upload Twitter Spaces and AMAs, stuff like that. Yeah, find us on our socials, Giddy.co, and yeah, we're always up to something new. So it's a fun thing to follow.
Super cool. Ethan, anything else to add before we wrap up?
Yeah, I would just say that another thing we really focused on is so the customer experience. It started with the individual. Let's make DeFi easy for the individual, and we have a full-time customer service guy. You can get some time on his calendar. He will walk you through if you're not sure. Not just DeFi the hard way, but Giddy itself. It is a somewhat technical app. We make it as easy as possible, but even then, some of the terms are confusing. So hop on. You can get a one-on-one session. We're happy to airdrop you if you're confirmed a real human, not a bot from somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just we're just happy to help, and go try it out.
That's one of those really great early stage non-scalable kind of things you do, right? Make sure you nail that customer. Like you study, the Airbnb story, for example. You do those early stage non-scalable things to build your community, traction, adoption. Build your momentum, and then of course you scale from there. So awesome. Kudos to you guys for leaning into your community, making sure that people know how to use DeFi, how to use Giddy. That's fantastic. Gentlemen, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me on TechBeat. Thank you to the audience for joining us as well. We're going to sign off live from Cryptopia. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep.